you see the ecosystem of some potential ideas without bias. And that is very important for us because when you are internally, you have some project, you see, you have some bias. You say, oh, it's happened this, and maybe we can go. But when it's something externally that explains to you what is going on, what is the trend, what is the competitors, what do you think about in the future, you have another point of view. And this can be good or can be bad, but it's real. And so when you address this kind of inquiry and somebody say to you, this is a lot of competitor in this area, or maybe you have an issue with for example, the idea is good, but in the beginning it's good, but there is a very high investment to go to scalability. You say, oh, it's something good in the lab, but to go to to the market, you need to do a very high investment, and maybe you need to do some partnership or joint development to be competitive in this area. And also to think about, okay, it's good, but you don't have raw material. And you need to think about what you will be doing to address this kind of potential risk for the project. Is the raw material, is the supply chain, is the customer, how to engage the customer. I think that this helps us to understand the viability of one project. Is the project good? Is not good? What will be? How we can address this kind of thing? I think that this helps us a lot of this kind of talking with somebody externally to listen and to learn, and how we can apply this learning and what's going on in the ecosystem for our project or for our pipeline, or what we'll be doing in the for next 3 years, for example. This is something that was very high value because when you see people with no bias, is the best. I think that it is time safe. Uh, why? Because we, well, I will explain it what we was doing, okay? As an open innovation, we was working with different evaluation of different startup that was working with biomass to chemical. So using different biomass as a raw material, different process, chemical fermentation to produce a new chemical. In each time, yeah, so in the timeline, we was presenting this idea to the committee. And one committee was go or no go with the idea to do this kind of enrichment. When you are doing for yourself, maybe to really to present to the committee, maybe you will be working for almost 2 months because you need to think about all the startup, to think to select the best one, to look for the intellectual property, to look for the technology, to look for the investment. As, so I think that to really to do a very good job will be around 2 or 3 months to really to go into say, oh, I evaluate 10 startups and these are the three best ones, and now we need to decide what is the best one to engage or not. When you have this kind of platform that already have this kind of evaluation of the startup, when each startup already was evaluating on technology, investment, partnership, intellectual property, in 1 month, I can present that. So I can reduce the time of enrichment idea phase. When the analyst shares something happening in biomass, in the doesn't matter what kind of technology, and shared by a mail, Maybe you are not looking for that, but the information that you receive is important. Is to understand what is going on as a new technology, not new technology, but acquisition or something happening in the ecosystem. That is more like proactivity. You don't need to request this kind of. I don't need to request what is going on. No, it's something that I receive, and so I would like to check that out so that it's not you don't respond only for our request, but you give to us information that sometimes I don't request, but it's important too. For me, will be an, an extension of your company with no bias and for me sería more extension because when I say it's not my FT, it's FT of your company that will be allocated to my needs.